Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Wien World of Sports. I'm glad to have you with me today. Folks, I am enraged today. Yesterday I turned on ESPN and I see them wasting 5 minutes of my life showing me Kyle Busch and his fiance looking at wedding rings. Now, this sickens me for two reasons. One is this is Sports Center, and I consider this hollow territory. There's no place for ring shopping there. Secondly, Kyle Busch, let's further breakdown of this Kyle Busch situation. One, he's a NASCAR driver, and nope, I'm not going to hate on NASCAR that much today. I think it's fair for NASCAR to get coverage, show me how to the crashes, who wins, etc. Because God knows I'm never going to watch an entire race. Cars are cool, driving fast is cool, whatnot. I like Talladega Nights. So, okay, I'm down. But don't try to make me think that NASCAR drivers are cool. Maybe show me him and his buddies out fishing or screwing around on four-wheelers, lighting things on fire. Okay, all right, I'm okay with that. Fixing cars, whatever. All right. Give me a minute of that. But the last thing I want to see is about 5 minutes of Kyle Busch and his annoying little girlfriend looking at wedding rings. Okay, I'll end there. I think everybody gets this. So let's hit the newswire now. All right, so baseball, we're pretty much where we were last time. Twins really wrapped up their race with the White Sox. They beat them twice, so that's over. Out west, still got the same thing. We got the Rockies, Giants, and who's the other team? Rockies, Giants. Oh, Padres. Yeah, they're all fighting for that. Not too far back, Atlanta's first in the wild card. I think Philly's just going to go ahead and win this. You're going to win out of the NL, and I don't think most of the NL teams are that good. Don't really know much about the Reds. Saw them play the Brewers a couple times, but, that's about it. I think that the three teams in the AL are better than them. I'm just going to leave Texas beside. They've really struggled down the stretch, but the Twins are super hot. Rays are really good, and the Yankees are always the Yankees. So I think that one of those three teams that's really what I'm going to be looking for in the playoffs. And then I think the winner of whoever comes out of those three is going to end up playing the Phillies in the World Series, and that should be a pretty good World Series. And I will watch that. We will break that down when we get to it, but right now it's just really not worth talking about. So Reggie Bush forfeits the Heisman Trophy. So it sounds like nobody's going to win the 2005 Heisman Trophy. They could have given it to Vince Young, revoted, something like that. We're not going to even talk about those things because that doesn't matter. They shouldn't give it to anybody. If they're going to take it away, they take it away. Okay, so who cares about that? So I hope this doesn't get drawn out and make a big deal. And you get punished, take the award away. It's fair, sure. Don't want other kids to do that. Two things come to mind with this. All right, one, let's pay college athletes. And two, auction off this trophy on eBay. So let's start with the first thing. Athletes make universities millions of dollars. We all love watching college sports. It's supply and demand. They're creating an inefficiency in the market here by not paying them. Something that we all want, which is college football, and the players aren't getting paid for it. So the universities make the profits, and they pitch it to us as a moral thing. Like, oh, they're amateur athletes. They shouldn't get paid. They should do it for the love of the game. They're students. Whatever. All those of you who went to college have class with a big-time football player. For the most part, they don't care. They're there to play football, and I'm okay with that. So let's pay them to play football. It's not like the war on drugs. If you legalize them, then we don't have jails filled with drug dealers and endless drug-related crimes, expand our police force, always have to build more jails. This isn't a political show, so we won't go into that, but I think you guys get the idea. So the second thing, sell this trophy on eBay. Okay? I want to see who buys it. I want to see how much they pay. That's entertainment. It hurts no one. You can use the money that it's sold from to give to some type of a charity. Give it to some out in form of scholarships. Use it to subsidize women's sports. Something like that. Okay? So I want to spend a little bit of time talking college football, but unfortunately, there really are no games this weekend that are really worth watching. Last weekend was a lot better. Florida versus Tennessee, okay. Florida's down this year a little bit. They struggle against Miami of Ohio. Tennessee isn't that good. Lane Kiffin's gone. A little less interesting, but still a good rivalry. Those players are going to play hard. It should be pretty entertaining. There's only two ranked teams playing each other this weekend, and that's Iowa at Arizona. I think Iowa wins this game because I think they're good. They're returning a lot of players from last year. Last year they were pretty good. Arizona, I don't know if Arizona's good. I don't know what their deal is. I don't know if they're returning starters. And yeah, it's Arizona football. I really don't want to take the time to read about that either. So, number one, Alabama takes on Duke. Okay. Haven't looked at the line yet on this one, but if Alabama is favored by less than 50, I mean, it's probably worth betting on them. Other game, we got my Badgers at home against Arizona State. I'm not really happy with how the Badgers have been playing. Mistakes, especially last week, 3 turnovers in San Jose State's red zone. However, they are at home. They're a much better team, and, I think Bucky gets the win in that one. So, NFL time. We had some good games on Monday night. Quite possibly one of the most exciting 10-9 games I have ever seen. Ray Lewis is still a beast, and Ray Lewis, he scares me. He's 35, and he's still the best linebacker I've ever seen. Both these teams have amazing defenses. Maybe I underestimated the Jets' D, because I did say that I think the Ravens were going to beat them handily. Or maybe I just overestimated the Ravens' offense. Like I said, I don't know where the Jets are going to get points this year, but that D will win them a couple games. I think the way to really beat the Jets is to just spread them out. 4 wide receivers, go in the shotgun. Cromartie and Revis are great, but that third corner, the rookie, not so much. You got the pass interference calls. You got burned a couple times. If you get them in 4 wide, you kind of minimize the effectiveness of those corners. Get nickel backs on slot guys. And then, maybe run some counters, stuff like that. I mean, you can't really run the ball against their front 7, so just don't even try. Spread them out, throw the ball, kind of start that way, and, work the run in later on. You just don't want to play to their strength. So if that team goes down 2 touchdowns in a game, it's over 99 times out of 100. So, oh, by the way, yeah, the Ravens defense really great too. Don't want to downplay that. They have some weapons on offense as well, and I think they're going to be tough all year long. So Chiefs Chargers in the second game, that one kind of surprised me a little bit. It was a really good game. The Chiefs came out really excited to play. First game of the year. All jacked up. They get really loud there at Arrowhead. I think they're a very interesting team. Like I said before, I really didn't know much about them. I think it was smart of them picking up like half the Patriots from a few years back. The coaching staff, Romeo Crennel, stuff like that. Matt Castle, Vrabel on defense. They put some winners on the team. From the Patriots there with some great young guys like Jamal Charles and Dwayne Bowe. Like they got Chambers. That's cool. But I think that the Chargers will win that division still. And the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. The Chargers always start slow. And I think that the rain, stuff like that, the fact they start slow on the road, I think that's really what won. I think the Chargers are still a better team than them. Okay, so let's dig into the schedule for this week. Okay, first game, I want to go over Pittsburgh at Tennessee. Steelers without Ben, it's just not enough points playing on the road. Big win for them last week with their defense, but I think Tennessee's just going to kind of has more power on offense. Chris Johnson, I think Tennessee's going to win this one. We got Arizona at Atlanta. Falcons lost last week to the Steelers. Cardinals beat the Rams. I think Michael Turner has a big day today, getting to play against a weak Cardinals defense, and the Falcons get that win pretty easily. Baltimore at Cincinnati. This one could go both ways. I think the Ravens are a better team, but I think that also it's going to be hard for them to keep up the intensity from Monday night. Bengals D, they got tore up by the Patriots, granted it's the Patriots. But I think we're going to see a little bit more out of the Ravens offense as well. I think that those 3 wide receivers, Bolden, the new addition of TJ Who's Your Mama, as well as Mason. I'm going to pick the Ravens in this one to win this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals pull it out just because they've got the clown show on offense. They can put up some points, as well as the Ravens kind of being down from Monday night and Cincy being at home. I could see that happening, but I think the Ravens are a better team and they take care of this.